He's one of the best lefties in the game, and what a season Christopher Sanchez is having for the Phils. A Cy Young season thus far, and you'll see him on the mound facing the NL East rival New York Mets. It's Mets and Phils on Baseball Night in America. Homered for the Cubs. Oh, thank you. That helps. Thanks a lot. Sid's everywhere.
Everyone has a plan, a dream, a destiny. But baseball doesn't care about expectations. In Philly, the season once slipping away has become a surge into contention.
Belted, deep right field, and it's long gone for Harper!
While the high-priced Mets roster is still searching for the magic.
Gone! Juan Soto goes deep!
Meanwhile, the Guardians are making it clear they belong, while Yordan Alvarez and the Astros are proving they never left. The margins are thin, and the pressure is rising. It's Baseball Night in America on Fox.
Well, the Mets are trying to work their way up in the division, and they'll put Freddie Peralta on the mound today against the Phils lineup. The Mets have won 12 of their last 20, and they'll tangle again after having last night off. Meanwhile, some of you will see Cleveland in Houston. There's Jeremy Pena and also Yordan Alvarez, by the way, working on a Triple Crown season. Worth keeping an eye on for Cleveland and the Astros. Welcome to the Baseball Night in America pregame show presented by Geico. From Philadelphia, we're on the scene to catch this one. The Mets and the Phils on a breezy night. Clouds coming in. Dontrell Willis, I'm Chris Spires. Thanks for tuning in. And nice to have the manager of the Phils joining us a few minutes away from game time, Don Mattingly. Don, it's great to see you.
Chris, good to see you.
And how about it? From 9-19, you have this team in a wild card position. Second best record in baseball during that time other than Milwaukee, other than you, Don, and I know you're modest. What's been the key ingredient for this Philly team? Where would you start as to what has pushed this team this far?
I would start with our starting rotation. Those guys have settled in, for the most part, been consistent every time out, allowed us to put our bullpen in spots we want to put them in, taking pressure off our offense early. We started to score some runs, so now everything seems to be going somewhat in the right direction.
You know, we talk about the rotation. Christopher Sanchez is one of the best arms in all of baseball. We know about the scoreless streak, but I'm more impressed that he's only given up 6 runs in this ballpark. I've had plenty of nightmares as a pitch pitching in this ballpark. What is it about him? We know the stuff is elite. What is it about him as far as the mental makeup that makes him one of the best pitchers in baseball?
Well, he's ultra competitive. He's got that little calm, clean kind of outlook, but he is a competitor. I think his stuff, the way it works, I think it works in any ballpark. He loves pitching here in front of the home crowd, but everything kind of funnels in different directions right out of the same window, which makes him tough.
First father-son duo, a general manager and active manager with your son, Presley. And I know Dave Dombrowski, he's a wheeler and dealer. That trade deadline, August 3rd. I'm sure with your son, you have a little extra influence. Can you give us some insight on where you might be going if you want to help this team make a further push with some personnel or some trades?
Well, I wish
I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, I wish I had impact in that. But you know, the way I've always looked at the trade deadline is I like our club just the way it is. Because any time that we talk about bringing somebody in, that means if we don't like the guy that we have, I like all our guys, and I think we can win just the way we are.
This is a veteran-led club, a battle-tested club. Is there a sense of urgency because they're getting older in age? And there's an expectation in this organization and this city about winning world championships or bust. Do you feel that in this locker room right now?
I don't feel like a total sense of urgency. I think we want to feel some sort of urgency with the way we play because you never know how a season goes. So you should feel urgency all the time. We are getting a little older, so it is something
I got my grades coming in, so I get it.
I think it is a situation that you should be feeling urgent.
Yeah, speaking of older here, I know you. Is it true you were kind of like ready to step away? You're added to the staff, and now you're managing. Is there something that could change that if this team goes on a deeper run? Have you been refreshed as a manager or just a guy active in baseball?
Well, I thought last year was going to be my last year. Honestly, Dave called after the season. It felt like there was a need and a place for me here. So, you know, I came back from there. I'm happy where I'm at. I love working with Preston. I like this club. It's been fun being in Philadelphia. So you just kind of go one day at a time and keep going.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank
Happy
you,
Father's
Skip.
Day, too, by the way.
Always a pleasure, Skip.
Yeah,
Good to
good
see you,
luck
brother.
the rest of the way. We really appreciate it. All right, Don Trell, let's check out some highlights before we send you out to the ballpark. Couple of division leaders in the NL. Brewers and Braves at ninth inning, bottom of the ninth. Ozzie Albies is up there.
Albies is healthy along with Olsen as well. That's why they're at the top of the division, getting their foot down. And, man, some Apple Taco power, General. Wow.
Fourth career walk-off, and it was Chris Sale who got the start. Braves doing some work there after taking on the Miz in Milwaukee the night before. All right, Reds, Yankees. Spencer Steer with a 3-run shot, and the rookie for the Reds, Sal Stewart, had a 6 RBI game to beat the Yanks.
Sal Stewart, Mr. Miami, and they dropped 15 hits on the Yankees. You don't see that every day.
Meanwhile, the Rays, who are chasing the Yankees with the Nationals in town, Nasim Nunez will drive this into the corner. And the Nationals have the lead at the moment, and they're hanging on to that 4-3 lead as they play late in the game. White Sox, Tigers. Dylan Dingler making a bid maybe for an all-star appearance. Launches this for his 17th homer of the year.
Free crazy bread for everybody in Motown, General. He went to big man land on a line. You got to be a strong individual to do that.
Couple of hits and the Tigers win as the Scooble trade talk going to continue toward the deadline. Blue Jays, Cubs. Kazuma Okamoto, who leads the team in homers, a 3-run shot, his 16th. The Blue Jays win. PCA had a homer for the Cubs.
He has been absolutely huge. Vlad Jr. is still trying to find his power stroke, but he has been consistent all year long in that lineup.
Moments ago, Texas hosting the Padres. Manny Machado up there. This offense struggling, but not here.
Gotta get him going, man. They're still on the fringe of that postseason. They get him going, man. That's a totally different ball club.
What a win for the Padres, and boy, they needed it in 10. Giants, Marlins, and Alberto Hernandez off Matt Gage for a 2-run shot, his 7th of the season. The Marlins with a 6-3 advantage.
The Fighting Fish, you better respect it in South Florida. Probably those young bulls down there. Fish party all night long.
All right, and we'll continue with the games coming your way. Jose Altuve and the Astros, who have won 3 in a row. He had a 3-run homer, go-ahead 3-run shot of the opener of the series with Cleveland. And Cleveland hanging in there in that Central Division race, at the moment a wild card team. And Bo Bichette helping the Mets, hoping that they can work their way up in the National League East as the Phillies try and hang on to a wild card spot. Baseball Night in America coming right up.
What a day in Houston. Earlier, World Cup action across town. The Netherlands with a resounding 5-1 win over Sweden. And now it is time for baseball. The second of a 3-game weekend series between the Houston Astros and the Cleveland Guardians. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Kenny Albert along with A.J. Pierzynski. Astros with a 9-3 victory in the series opener last night, their 3rd straight win. Yordan Alvarez having an MVP-type season.
He is the front runner right now for the American League MVP with Aaron Judge down. Some of the other guys not having great years. This guy is a monster in the batter's box. The presence he brings, he has a 25-game current on-base streak. It's his second 20-plus game on-base streak of the season. Triple Crown categories, 1st in homers, 1st in average, 2nd in RBIs. This guy is leading the league in almost every offensive category. He is the one guy, if you're paying money right now in the American League, I'd pay to watch.
Now on the other side, the Guardians with 3 key injuries, all suffered in the same game last Saturday, so they're looking for some youngsters to lead the way.
They are, and right now they have Travis Bazzana and Brian Rocchio, who are 1-3 in their lineup. Travis Bazzana leads the team in OPS right now. He was the first pick overall in the draft a couple years ago, and this is what they expected out of him, an offensive force. He's learning at second base. He's getting better. And then Brian Rocchio has always been a great shortstop. Now he's figured out how to hit. He's hitting 3rd for a reason. He's 2nd on the team in RBIs. these are the two guys that have to carry them until they get the injured stars back in this lineup.
Guardians looking for revenge tonight here in Houston. It's the Guardians and the Astros. Baseball night in America. Coming up next on Fox. Welcome back to Baseball Night in America on Fox. Houston Astros, Cleveland Guardians. Guardians with a record of 40-36. AJ, you talked about Travis Pizzana during our opening segment. He will lead off, followed by Manzardo, Rocchio, then Hoskins in the cleanup spot. Schneemann, Watson, Kwan, Bailey, and Halpin will bat ninth. As the Guardians get set to face the 26-year-old right-hander, the American League Pitcher of the Month in May. He went 4-1 with an earned run average of 0.93. Spencer Arrighetti.
Well, Arrighetti, you see the numbers. You mentioned pitcher of the month in May. Here's his usage. It's a lot of curveballs. He throws it early in the count for strikes, throws it later in the count for chase. He has to locate the four-seam fastball, but you will see a lot of breaking balls out of Spencer Arrighetti.
Record of 7-2 on the season. AJ, our Wendy's pitcher profile.
Again, 7-1. Now, June has been a little bit different. 0-1 with the 6.19 ERA. He's missed. He's fallen behind a little bit more, Kenny, than what he did earlier in the season. And when he falls behind, he's susceptible. He has to jump ahead. The one thing about Spencer Arrighetti, if you're the Guardians, he's only given up 3 home runs this year. That is not a lot of home runs, Kenny.
And he has allowed 1 or fewer earned runs in 7 of his 11 starts. Defensively for the Astros, around the infield, Walker, Altuve, Pena, Paredes. Left to right of the outfield, Matthews, Myers, and Smith. The battery of Arrighetti and Diaz. Astros looking to make it 4 in a row here tonight. In the American League Central, White Sox lost their game to the Tigers earlier today, so the Guardians with a half-game lead over Chicago.
Well, the AL Central is a race that's going to be contested till the end of the year. We talked to Stephen Vogt before the game, and he said everyone kind of sits around 500 until September and someone makes a move. If there's a team out there win 7 or 8 in a row, they can jump right to the lead in this division quickly.
Stephen Vogt's Guardians without the 3 players they lost within a stretch of 4 innings last Saturday. Ramirez, Martinez, and DeLauder. Lozada leads off, swings at the first pitch, sends it to deep right field. It is gone. First pitch of the game, leadoff home run. Travis Lozada, the Guardians take a 1-0 lead.
Well, so much for Spencer Arrighetti not giving up home runs, Kenny. First pitch, Travis Pizzana jumps him and just squeaks this ball over the right center field wall for a 1-0 lead for the Guardians. First pitch fastball, right down the middle, belt high. Pizzana was ready for it. We mentioned in the open he was the first overall pick in the draft, and that's what the Guardians saw when they picked him.
Second pitch of the game is a called strike. Manzardo falls behind 0-1. Well, when we spoke with Stephen Vogt, he is absolutely thrilled with what he has seen from Lozada so far this season. Called up in late April. 23 years of age, first overall pick by the Guardians back in 2024 out of Oregon State.
He has, and he said people from the outside might say, oh, he's been up and down. He's learning at the big league level. His defense has improved, and you saw the power. His offense has been steady.
Manzardo down on strikes, 1 away. So here's the other youngster you talked about, AJ, in the open, Ryan Rocchio. Batting .273 on the season. 2 for 4 with a double, drove in a run in last night's game.
He's been a force for him offensively, and they've needed it with Jose Ramirez going down, Martinez going down, DeLauder going down, all in the same day. Rocchio has stepped up.
2 for 3 lifetime against Arrighetti.
Something to look for. Guardians come out of this game. They know Arrighetti's a strike thrower. They've seen 6 pitches. They swung at the first 5. So the scouting report, Kenny, says swing early and swing often.
Woo! In for a called strike now, 1-2 on Rocchio. Arrighetti missing away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A home run on the first pitch of the game off the bat of Travis Bazzana. His 6th of the season. After the Astros defeated the Guardians last night 9-3. Rocchio got a piece of it.
So we talked to Joe Espada. He said Arrighetti has to be able to throw the curveball for a strike, especially early in the count. Well, he did that to Manzardo. He did that to Rocchio. The first pitch of the game, no pitcher wants to come out and throw a curveball first pitch, Kenny.
Called off down the left field line.
Nobody wants to do that. They want to establish the fastball. They're thinking first pitch of the game, I want to get a strike. I want to show them that I can throw my fastball. And Travis Bazzana was ready for it. And that's, I always loved if a leadoff hitter with power would jump on the first pitch, because most of the time you're going to get a heater.
Two to Rocchio. And the count is now full. Hoskins on deck, 1-0 Cleveland. 1 out, top of the first inning. 8th pitch of the at-bat to Rocchio. Not 2 away. Well, it was not a good day, AJ, for the Guardians last Saturday.
1 week ago, they lost 3 of their best hitters, and this guy right here, Jose Ramirez, is by far their best hitter, on track for Cooperstown with the broken hamate. But that happened in about 4 innings. Broken rib, broken foot, broken hamate. Bad day for Stephen Vogt and the Guardians.
They've won just 1 of 4 since that game.
Well, imagine
any
team losing 3 of their best hitters in a span of 4 innings. Nobody can prepare you for that. It's impossible. No team can survive that.
We hope to have DeLauder back next week. The other 2 are long-term injuries. Hoskins grounds out to Paredes. But the Guardians strike first. First pitch of the game. Bazzana goes deep. Astros with a record of 36-41. Jeremy Pena had a big game last night. He will lead off. Then Alvarez, Walker, Paredes, Altuve, Diaz, Smith, Myers, Matthews. Bottom of the order. First pitch drilled foul off the bat of Pena.
You don't have it?
Astros starting lineup sponsored by Rinvoq. 3 consecutive victories for Houston. 3-1 against the Guardians this season. And tonight the Astros face the 26-year-old left-hander Joey Cantillo.
Well, Cantillo, the numbers are nice. The changeup is the key for Joey Cantillo. Can he throw the changeup? Can he throw enough fastballs around the plate to get a changeup, get ahead in changeup counts, and make this Astros team chase that changeup? If he can do that, he'll be effective. If not, could be a long night for Joey.
Record of 5-3 in 15 starts this season. Now 1-2 on Pena. Pena 3 for 5 last night. He went deep twice. Third career multi-home run game. Down on strikes, 1 away.
Little breaking ball right here. Jeremy Pena out in front, just starts as a strike, dips down. Good start for Cantillo.
So with 1 away, here's Alvarez. One of 4 players in baseball to lead his team in batting average, home runs, and runs batted in. AJ mentioned earlier the 25-game on-base streak for Alvarez. Grounds out to the second baseman. Lozada quickly 2 away. Now Christian Walker steps to the plate. Walker 4th in the American League, 52 runs batted in. Walker and Alvarez have combined to hit 42 home runs. That's the highest total among teammates in all of baseball. Pops this one up left side of the infield. A 7-pitch 1-2-3 first inning for Joey Cantillo. Come back to Baseball Night in America on Fox. Kenny Albert, AJ Pierzynski in Houston. Guardians with a 1-0 lead. Top of the second inning. Daniel Schneemann leads off against Spencer Arrighetti. And Schneemann takes ball 1 inside. He was 0 for 4 last night. Struck out on all 4 occasions.
That's not a good night. That's one of those you just wash as soon as you get on the bus back to the hotel and start over today.
Now 1-1 on Schneemann. Schneemann leading off for the Guardians. Here in the top of the second inning. Travis Pizzana hit the first pitch of the game out of the ballpark.
Hey, is it working? Oh, then it's a ball.
Now a bit of a communication issue.
Yeah, but you had no time.
Every game, you cannot go through a big league game anymore without a pitch comm issue.
Now the 2-1 from Arrighetti in for a called strike 2-2. The Pizzana home run, AJ, 13th time this season that the first pitch of a major league game was hit out of the ballpark. Called strike 3. So Schneemann has now struck out in all 5 at-bats in this series.
This is the backdoor breaking ball that has made Arrighetti so good for the last month and a half. Just able to spot that breaking ball wherever he wants. He can throw a back foot or he can start this one. That ball starts probably 2 feet off the plate away, and you see it comes back and just nails the corner.
So with 1 out, here's Khalil Watson. And he takes a called strike. Watson, a first-round pick by the Marlins back in 2021. One of the youngsters in the lineup due to the 3 injuries suffered last Saturday. Watson struck out twice last night. The 0-2 from Arrighetti. Watson stays alive.
It's hard to make up this production here from the Guardians. Jose Ramirez, perennial MVP candidate, future Hall of Famer. See his numbers and his leadership in defense. Angel Martinez is off to a great start. And then Chancellor Lauder, as a rookie, was having a tremendous year out in the outfield for the Guardians. It is hard to make that up when you lose those guys in a span of about 1 hour.
Back-to-back Manager of the Year awards for Stephen Vogt. Count is full with Stephen Quad waiting on deck. Called strike 3. Second consecutive strikeout and third of the game for Arrighetti.
And another one, just another little backdoor breaking ball. Starts it away. This one actually catches more of the plate than he wanted it to. But if he can control that, this is what we talked about on the top. If he can control that breaking ball, start it, move it around different places, he can be very tough.
So here's Quan, an all-star each of the last 2 seasons, struggling at the plate this year.
I know, and it's something you wouldn't think you'd see. Stephen Quan's always been able to find a way to get hits. This year he's not hitting the ball very hard. Really struggling to get on base like he used to.
1-1.
Quan 0 for 3 in last night's game, 0 for 5 in his career against Arrighetti. 2 outs, top of the second inning.
2-1.
Guardians with a 1-0 lead. Arrighetti faced Cleveland earlier this season back in April. Allowed 2 runs in 5 innings in a 9-2 Astros victory. 2-1 to Quad. He grounds out to Altuve to end the inning. And Altuve due up second for the Astros in the bottom of the second when we return. Bases and more at auctions.mlb.com. Bottom of the second in Houston. First pitch to Paredes, missing away, ball 1. Joey Cantillo retired the Astros in order on only 7 pitches in the bottom of the first inning.
Was it 7 or 6? Does the pitch clock violation count as a pitch, or is it just a phantom pitch?
Our statistician Ben Bowman telling us 7.
Okay.
Now the 1-1. Base hit into left field. Off the bat of Paredes. Leadoff man on for the Astros here in the second. You hear the ovation for the 9-time All-Star. Look at Altuve's career numbers against Cleveland. Altuve with the big blow last night. 3-run shot in the 6th inning to give the Astros the lead. Altuve with a bloop into center field. So back-to-back singles. Paredes and Altuve, and the Astros threatening here in the bottom of the second.
That's what Altuve does. Jose Altuve is why he's going to be in Cooperstown one day. He just figures out a way to get hits. Little cutter, gets in on him, muscles this ball out to center field for a single. One of the best of all time of just finding hits, Kenny.
3-time American League batting champ. Jose Altuve. So now Yadier Diaz. Third straight base hit for the Astros around third. Paredes. He scores. We are tied at 1. Altuve to third. 15th run batted in of the season for Diaz.
Well, none of these balls have been hit particularly hard, but they're all 3 knocks. It's just great hitting here by Diaz. Gets the ball up, out over the plate, doesn't try to do too much. Shoots this ball to right center, and let's talk base running by Jose Altuve. First to third, right in the right fielder's face, doesn't slow down, doesn't hesitate. Paredes scores, and the Astros are still in business because of Altuve's base running.
Still nobody out. 3 straight base hits. First pitch to Cam Smith, missing high and away, ball 1. Smith working on a 4-game hit streak. And he is 3 for 3 lifetime against Cantillo.
Well, this is the guy the Astros need to get going. If they're going to compete in this AL West, if they're going to get back to where they've been in the past, which is above 500 in the playoffs, Kenny, they need Cam Smith in his 2nd year now to figure it out.
He sends this one into left. Altuve went about a third of the way down the line, heads back to third. As Smith flies out to Kwan for the first out of the inning. So with 1 away, here's Jake Myers. 1 for 4, drove in a run last night. First and third, 1 out, 1 run in for Houston here in the 2nd. Three straight singles off Cantillo to start the inning. Now 1-1 on Myers.
That is the hardest thing to judge. Did he swing? I say no, but have you seen the minor leagues? They have a ABS type check swing meter.
How long until we see that in the big leagues?
I don't know if I like that one though, because I think it goes off of how far the bat goes and the angles and all that. So I don't know the exact definition of what it is, but it'll be soon. If they think it's working, it'll be here.
Now 2-2 on Myers with Bryce Matthews waiting on deck. Guardians with a run at the top of the first. Travis Pizzana went deep on the first pitch of the game. Astros have answered here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. First and third, 1 out. The 2-2 is a called strike 3. So Myers is retired, now 2 away.
Good pitch here by Cantillo. A little backdoor breaking ball. We talked about it with Spencer Arrighetti. Well, Cantillo says anything you can do, I can do just as well. He just drops that breaking ball in there. Jake Myers not ready for it. That's kind of the high breaking ball that we've seen called just a little bit more with the ABS.
Second strikeout for Cantillo. Matthews takes a called strike, 0-1. First round pick by the Astros back in 2023. Local product out of the Astros Youth Baseball Academy. Good 10-game stretch for Matthews.
I like it. I like it. You don't see that anymore. Third baseman's playing him back. Why not take the bunt and get a bunt down, Kenny, and get an easy RBI Third baseman's back. Used to see that a lot more. Not so much anymore. See how far back the third baseman there is. Schneemann, if he gets this down, it's probably a knock and an RBI.
1-2 to Matthews, and he strikes out to end the inning. Astros score a run. They strand 2. We are tied at 1 as we head to the third. In top of the third inning, Patrick Bailey leads off for the Guardians. Bailey acquired from San Francisco in early May. Bailey, Halpin, Bazzana for Cleveland here in the third against Arrighetti. We've been talking about the injuries, Ramirez, Martinez, DeLauder. When we asked Stephen Vogt about it, he said, we're hanging in there. He told us that he spoke to the team as a group on Tuesday. He said, just be yourselves.
Well, that's all you can really do. Yes, it stinks when you lose the people that they lost, but if you try to do too more, like Stephen Vogt says, that you get into worse problems. So just be yourself, do what you're on the roster for, do what your job is.
A smash into right center for a base hit off the bat of Bailey. So the leadoff man on for Cleveland here in the third. They've gone 1-3 since suffering the injuries. 4 wins in their last 13 games overall, scoring under 3 runs per game. But still in first place in the American League Central.
They are, but they're carried by their pitching. For years, the Guardians have. Everyone says, how can they win? How can they win? Well, they win because they're pitching. They've used the same 5 starters the whole year. Their back end of their bullpen is great. And they are just really good at winning 1-run and close ball games.
The 0-1 to Petey Halpin, and he fouls it off back behind third. Halpin, 24 years of age, 3rd-round pick back in 2020 by the Guardians. Played in 6 games last season. Yeah, the Guardians, AJ, the only team in all of baseball that has used only 5 starters. And then on the other side, the Astros have used 13, which is tied for the major league lead with Colorado.
That's kind of the difference. Injuries for the Astros and
Halpin down on strikes.
Great pitch there by Arrighetti, but consistency for the Guardians and injuries for the Astros.
You talk about consistency. How about the season the rookie Bazzana has had since his recall in late April? Led off tonight's game with a home run on the first pitch, his 6th of the season. Bailey, the runner on first, 1 out. And Bazzana takes a called strike, now 1-1.
First pitch of the game, 1-0. Such a great thing to have a leadoff hitter that can do this. 104.7 and just 382, 381. I don't think it makes it, Kenny, but it just squeaked over the outfield fence.
1-2 on Bazzana.
And if you notice, Arrighetti is really finding the feel for this breaking ball right here. He's throwing it in, he's throwing it out, he's changing speeds on it, and he's got the Guardians a little bit off balance by doing that.
I thought you were about to go with off guard.
No, it's still hard for me to call them the Guardians, Kenny. We kind of talked about that with Stephen Vogt. It's still every once in a while their old name wants to just creep out of my mind.
Second hit of the game for Bazzana. Bailey on his way to third. And he is in.
Maybe they'll stop throwing Bazzana fastballs. And Bailey, I love this. I love this right here. Catcher, I don't care. I'm going first to third. But here's the thing: when you're the runner, Jake Meyers, the center fielder, is a left-handed thrower. He's going to his left, therefore it's a harder throw for him than if he was going to his right. That's why you go first to third. I think he was safe. Paredes thinks he got him. I don't know. He misses him initially. Is he out on the foot tag? Right here at the end. He misses him there. Kenny, and then right, watch, his foot lands on his glove. It looks like he's out. That's luck, by the way.
Hunter Wendelstedt, the third base umpire.
Oof.
Fans reacting to the replays.
After review, the call of the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Wow, his foot just lands on his glove. Right there.
Right there.
He did everything right. He went first to third. Trying to get to third with one out. We got a lot of Jordans in that picture too. Hunter Wendelstedt and Patrick Bailey rocking the Jordan 11s, but his foot just landed on the glove.
So Bailey ruled out. Now 2 away. Manzardo struck out his first time up. Bazzana the runner on first. Manzardo, deep left field, and Manzardo has given the Guardians a 3-1 lead. 9th home run of this season. So without 3 of their big bats, Guardians with 2 home runs over the first 3 innings here tonight in Houston.
And we said at the beginning of the game, Eric Getty has only given up 3 home runs. Well, he's given up 2 here in the first 3 innings, both on fastballs. If you remember Manzardo's first at bat, after Bazzana swung at the first pitch fastball for a homer, Eric Getty threw him a breaking ball and got him to swing and miss. He's looking for heaters. These Guardians hitters are all looking for heaters to do damage on. He's made 2 mistakes with fastballs. They both left the yard.
Swing and a miss by Rocchio, 0-1. Guardians just 25th in all of baseball. 71 home runs coming into this game. And they're missing 28 home runs from their lineup. The injuries to Ramirez, Martinez, and DeLauder. Top 2 in the Cleveland order have gone deep. Bazzana and Manzardo. To Rocchio, reaches out and flies out to Matthews in left. Middle of the third. After the Astros tie the game, Manzardo with a 2-run shot. 3-1 lead for the Cleveland Guardians here in Houston, bottom of the third. Jeremy Pena takes a called strike from Joey Cantillo. Cantillo now pitching with a 3-1 advantage. He struck out Pena back in the first inning.
If you're the Guardians and Cantillo, you want to shut down inning here, Kenny, to get him back in the dugout to swing the bats a little bit more. You got the top of the order, so important to get Pena out here to lead off this inning.
Pena has gone deep in back-to-back games. Homered twice last night. And he flies out to the right fielder Watson, one away. So with one away, here's Alvarez. Grounded out to the second baseman, Bazana, back in the first inning. Our Indeed player resume. Leading the American League in batting average, home runs, and runs batted in.
When do they stop pitching to him? I make Christian Walker beat me every time. Sorry. I just do. Left on left, it doesn't matter. Right on left. Big situations, runners in scoring position. That guy right there, Christian Walker, he's having a nice year. But he's no Yordan Alvarez. He's going to have to beat me.
Off the bat of Alvarez. Right field, into the glove of Watson, 2 out.
And that swing right there is why. He got completely fooled on this pitch. I believe it was a little breaking ball off the end of the bat, and it still almost went out of the park. Watch this. He's out in front. He misses this off the end, and it is a few feet from going out.
Cantillo has retired 5 in a row after allowing 3 consecutive singles back in the second inning. Walker at the plate, popped out to the third baseman Schneemann, his first time up. Astros with a 9-3 victory last night. They scored 7 of their 9 runs from the 6th inning on. Astros went deep 3 times. Pena twice and Altuve. Guardians with a pair of home runs so far tonight.
No. See, so that's the thing they have in the minor AAA with the swing. How do you know when it stops? You know, because there's sometimes where you fall over and the bat goes farther. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see more of that before I can have a judgment on it.
Three-0 to Walker, in for a called strike, now 3-1. Two outs, bottom of the third. 3-1 lead for the Guardians. Walker takes ball 4. That's the first walk issued by either starting pitcher here tonight. Two-out base runner for the Astros as Paredes steps in. Singer leading off the second, and came around to score the only Houston run to this point.
Isaac Paredes is one of the best dead pull hitters, Kenny, in baseball. He pulls everything. He tries to pull everything. Everybody knows he tries to pull everything. You just have to stay away from him. But if you make that mistake a little bit in, he will hurt you. What makes him so great is he will not chase outside of his zone. He'll make you throw it over the plate, and he will not give in. He is stubborn as heck, which is a good thing as a hitter. He knows what his swing is, he knows what he's looking for, and he stays in that zone.
6 hits in his last 13 at bats. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Walker takes his lead off first. Cantillo delivers the 2-2. And the count is now full. Altuve on deck. Should Paredes reach? Payoff pitch from Cantillo. Bounce foul back behind third.
Pull, pull, pull. Everything is pulled, Kenny. It really is amazing, and every person you talk to, they know exactly what Isaac Paredes is trying to do. Every pitcher knows. Again, he is just so good at staying in his zone, using his strengths.
Paredes lines out to Quan and left to end the inning. We head to the 4th in Houston on Baseball Night in America. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget. Welcome back to Baseball Night in America on Fox. Kenny Albert, AJ Pierzynski, 3-1 lead for the Guardians. Rhys Hoskins leads off for Cleveland. Here in the top of the 4th, takes a called strike from Spencer Arrighetti.
Cleveland batter challenging a called strike. Called confirmed. Cleveland has 1 remaining count.
Automated balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile's network. Nothing in 2 on Hoskins.
The best part of that whole ABS challenge was Rhys Hoskins. We showed him. That's down. That's down. Oh, no, it's not down.
Well, Hoskins is down on strikes. Fifth strikeout for Spencer Arrighetti. So here's Schneemann, struck out his first time up after striking out 4 times in last night's game. Nothing in 1. All 3 Guardians runs have come via the long ball. Lozano with a solo shot leading off the game, first pitch. And then Manzardo with a 2-run homer in the 3rd. After, as you mentioned, Arrighetti had allowed only 3 home runs over his first 11 starts combined.
Crazy. Crazy. Sometimes you talk about things and they happen, Meaning, you talk about a guy who has a good game, then sometimes you talk about things you must bring up, and you don't want it to happen if you're an Astros fan, and it happens. But he's also made 2 mistakes with breaking balls, or excuse me, with fastballs. Right, when he's been able to spot his breaking ball, whether it's curveball, little slider, whatever it is, changeup, he's gotten these Guardians hitters out. When he's made a mistake with a fastball, that's when they've done their damage.
Schneemann gets the bat on it and grounds out to the first baseman Walker for out number 2. This July on Fox, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game takes over Philadelphia on July 4th. It's the All-Star Selection Show, live from Independence Hall. Then catch baseball's biggest stars in the Midsummer Classic, July 14th, right here on Fox. Two away, bases empty. Here's Watson. Watson struck out back in the 2nd inning. Two-0 from Arrighettian for a called strike. Looking for his first Major League base hit. Shoots this one into left center. And the Guardians are retired in order in the 4th. Has you covered all season long. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Live baseball here in Houston tonight as Altuve swings at the first pitch. Here at the bottom of the 4th inning, he is headed for second and will be tagged out.
Little breaking ball, Jose Altuve jumps on it like he's done so many times throughout his career. He was trying to be aggressive. I don't know if this was the best time, down 2 runs, but Stephen Kwan with a spin and then the perfect throw to get Altuve out by just a little bit.
Sixth assist for Kwan this season, despite his struggles at the plate. Continues his outstanding play defensively.
You know what's funny about that play? Stephen Kwan makes a perfect throw. The tag by Bazana. You're still watching it to see, hey, maybe he snuck his foot in there by a 1/4 of an inch. Right. We need to go to replay.
Stephen Kwan, the 4-time Gold Glove Award winner. Yainer Diaz drove in the Houston run back in the 2nd inning. Schneemann fires across, now 2 away.
Look, you're like, oh, did he was almost snuck in under the tag. That's why replay. We have it. And Bazana's 2 hands on the ball. Smart. 2 hands, kids. But it's amazing when you watch the slow-mo replays. Even that, where he's out by 20 feet.
Right.
Is so close.
Looks a lot closer. Cam Smith fly to left back in the 2nd inning. You know, we've talked about the Guardians' injury issues. The Astros have suffered a number of key injuries throughout this season. This is the 77th different starting lineup used by Joe Espada in 78 games.
Wow, what happened to one they used 2 of the same ones in a row?
It's only happened once.
That's what I mean.
In which they've used the same lineup all season.
That's crazy. But that's also a little bit of platoony stuff, and yes, injuries, but that's crazy. 77. There's 78 games, 77 different lineups. But when you lose Altuve for a bit, you lose Diaz for a bit, you lost Jake Myers for a bit, you lost Pena for a long time, you've lost Carlos Correa, who we haven't even mentioned, who's out. That's what happens. You got to mix and match. They've done a good job of treading water. They're still alive.
You mentioned Carlos Correa. His bobbleheads handed out to the first 10,000 fans here tonight in Houston.
I saw where you got 2, Kenny.
You didn't want yours, huh?
Let me go.
Smith stays alive. The count is full. I'm waiting for my Pierzynski bobblehead.
Ooh, gonna be a long wait for that one. Yeah. Just had one actually on Easter Sunday. They gave one out. Kenny, you missed it.
As I said, I'm still waiting. Nice play by Steven. And Smith is retired. That will end the inning. We head to the 5th with the Guardians leading by 2.
MLB scores.
And the score here in Houston, Cleveland Guardians with a 3-1 lead over the Houston Astros. Stephen Kwan takes a called strike, grounded out to the second baseman Altuve back in the 2nd inning. Guardians with a pair of home runs. Spizana on the first pitch of the game, and then Manzardo a 2-run shot on the 3rd. And Kwan, hit by that pitch from Arrighetti, will head to first base.
Ow. This is a back foot. Ow, right off the big toe.
My knee and my hand.
The Sergeant Hulka there, Kenny.
Is that what you call it?
Thank you.
You ever seen Stripes?
Yep.
So Bill Murray gives a speech and says, "I'm the big toe. I'm the Sergeant Hulka." But you probably never seen that movie.
AJ quoted a Cubs fan. Wow.
Well, it's a good movie though.
It's big of you. Patrick Bailey singled his first time up. Leadoff man on for the Guardians here in the 5th.
I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a little hit and run piece here. We don't see it very much in Major League Baseball anymore, but Kwan can steal you a base. Bailey can put the ball in play. Why not?
Arrighetti fires over to first. A look at the standings in the American League West, with the Astros in 4th place. However, only 3 out.
Not a place they're accustomed to, but only one team over 500 in that division. Kind of sums up the American League. Not a lot of great teams this year in the American League.
Nope. Out.
Now 2-2 on Bailey. Kwan the runner on first, to 2-2, and Bailey with his second hit of the night. Base hit into center field, so the Guardians now with runners on first and second and no outs. Well, the Astros have been to the postseason 9 of the last 10 for American League pennants. They've won at least 84 games in each of the last 10 full seasons. And as you saw, only 3 games out at the moment.
Well, you talk to that guy, Joe Espada, he is as confident as they come in this team and what they have and what they're trying to do. He has not lost faith. And last year was the first time in forever they did not make the postseason. And they're trying to rebound. The injuries haven't helped, but they're right there again. The Mariners haven't been able to pull away. The A's were in first place for a while. They've come back to the pack. The Rangers are right there with them. Other than the Angels, all 4 teams in the American League West are in this.
Guardians threatening here in the 5th. Corner infielders in. First and second, no outs. P.D. Halpin at the plate. Squares to bunt.
Foul ball, foul ball. You good?
Halpin called out on strikes back in the 3rd inning. Kwan, the runner, on second. Bailey takes his lead off first. This is the first Cleveland at bat with a runner in scoring position tonight. Halpin lays down the bunt, moving the runners over.
I'm out.
So Halpin does his job. Now second and third, 1 out.
Nice little small ball there. Halpin getting him ready.
Setting it up for the top of the order, Bazzana and Manzardo. They have both gone deep tonight. Bazzana on the first pitch of the game, and then Manzardo in the 3rd, a 2-run shot. Infield in. Strike 1 to Bazzana. Kwan and Bailey, the base runners. Guardians looking to add to their lead. Here's the 0-1. Now 0-2 on Bazzana.
Well, with the infield in, the Guardians are going contact play. If you watch Stephen Kwan, he'll give it away. He's taken a huge lead. And on that swing right there by Bazzana, he was coming home on any ball in play. So if he puts it in play, Stephen Kwan is coming to the plate.
Now the 0-2, and Bazzana fouls it off.
So this is how you know as a catcher, I would always watch the runner on third. See the ball's swung and missed. See how he was coming? That means that he is on contact, and if the ball is put in play on the ground, you're more than likely going to have a play at the plate. So you get ready as a catcher when you see that.
Arrighetti missing high and away. Now 1-2 on Bazzana. 3-1 Cleveland. 1 out, top of the 5th. Runners on second and third for the Guardians. There's Kwan. And Bazzana lifts this one to deep right field. His 2nd home run of the night. It is now 6-1 Cleveland. Bazzana led off the game with a home run on the first pitch. And now a 3-run shot here in the 5th. And Arrighetti had allowed only 3 home runs all season over his first 11 starts. He's given up 3 here tonight.
Well, the first 2 hits he got off him were on fastballs. This is a breaking ball, and he misses his spot. It's just middle. It's east to west. Doesn't have a lot of vertical drop on it. Bazzana hits his ball almost exactly where he hit the ball in the first inning, about 5 feet to the left of where his first inning home run went. And like you said, Kenny, Arrighetti had only given up 3 home runs all year. He gives up 3 tonight in the first 5 innings.
First career multi-home run game for Bazzana. All 6 Guardians runs have come home via the long ball. Here's Manzardo, who went deep in the 3rd. Bazzana, prior to that at bat, AJ, just 5 for 27 with runners in scoring position.
It all goes away with 1 swing. Have a night, young fella.
Now 1-2 on Manzardo.
We mentioned who was going to step up with Ramirez and Martinez and DeLauder. Well, tonight it's been Bazzana at the top of the order.
Manzardo down on strikes. Strikeout number 6 for Arrighetti. Now 2 away. Arrighetti had not allowed more than 4 runs in a game this season. Brian Rocchio 0 for 2. Top 2 in the Guardians batting order. Bazzana and Manzardo have combined to drive in all 6 Cleveland runs. Rocchio flies out to Matthews in left. Middle of the 5th here in Houston. Bazzana has gone deep twice. First time in his career. 6-1 Guardians. He has driven in 4. First pitch to Myers, in for a called strike. Cantillo now pitching with a 6-1 lead.
It's a nice feeling.
Nothing in 2. Myers caught looking back in the 2nd inning.
Guardians are so used to playing a lot of close games. They don't score a ton of runs like we mentioned. 28th in baseball in scoring runs. Their pitching has been much better. As a pitcher, you look out there and you say, I got a 5-run lead. It must be like a huge relief.
Myers caught looking for the 2nd time. Well, the ultimate goal of a Major League Baseball fan, seeing it all. The MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes, presented by T-Mobile, is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. Yes, all 30. Visit MLB.com/journey to 30 sweeps.
Nice.
Sounds fun.
It does. How long do you get to do that?
Excellent question.
I'm still trying to get my 30 teams calling a game for Fox. I'm at 29. I need 1 more.
Which team is that?
I haven't called a game for the A's in either Oakland or Sacramento.
Maybe in Vegas.
They're waiting for Vegas.
I know you have some great memories in this ballpark.
We do, yes, I do. But Called a lot of games here in Houston. It's a great view from the press box, or our box that we have here. It is a great home booth that we have here. Kenny, Jeff Blum, Todd Callis, they're very fortunate to have this booth. It is gigantic.
I wasn't talking about broadcast memories here for you.
I know. We won the World Series here. I don't like to bring that up. Jeff Blum, huge home run. Now he's an Astros homer. I get it.
2-2 to Matthews, and he pops it up. Foul territory in the glove of Schneemann for out number 2.
Someone actually asked me about that today, Kenny, on the field. Said, oh, you must have great memories when you come here. And you know what's funny is you do. When you walk into a ballpark that you did something like that, winning a World Series, every time you come to it, you just think about that, and it just brings a smile to your face. Yes, that was a good team of the Astros. A lot of Hall of Famers are Bagwell, Biggio, Berkman. You could argue should be in it. Clemens, we can argue that he should be in it. Andy Pettit was on that team. Roy Oswalt. That's a guy right there, Lance Berkman. Not a lot of people talk about. Look up his numbers one day if you haven't looked at him. He was special.
Painted down on strikes to end the inning as A.J. reminisces about 2005 for the world champion White Sox. 6-1 lead for the Guardians here in Houston. Top of the 6th inning, Hoskins leads off against Arrighetti, who has allowed 6 runs, all on home runs. Lozano with a pair, and Manzardo. Hoskins 0 for 2 tonight. Hoskins, Schneemann, and Watson due up for Cleveland here in the top of the 6th. Long foul down the left field line. Now 1-2. Fastball from Arrighetti missing high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nope. 3-2.
Payoff pitch to Hoskins, and he fouls it off this time to the right side. Swing and a miss by Hoskins. 7 strikeout for Arrighetti. Our game summary sponsored by Bank of America. Cantillo has allowed just the 1 run in 5 innings. Arrighetti has allowed 3 homers. That ties his career high. 2 off the bat of Bazana. First career multi-home run game. Schneemann is 0 for 2 tonight. Now 0 for 3. Flies out to Matthews in left.
Well, really, Arrigetti's made 3 mistakes, and they've all left the park. 2 fastballs. He one to Bazzana, one to Manzardo. And then he kind of threw a east to west slider that Bazzana hit his 3rd at bat. And that's been it. Other than that, the bottom of the order hasn't done a whole lot for these Guardians. It's really been Manzardo and Bazzana show. Bazzana.
Khalil Watson 0 for 2. Guardians with a run in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th. 3 home runs for Cleveland.
Here we go.
Watson strikes out. A 1-2-3-6 for Arrigetti. Yordan Alvarez will lead off for the Astros in the bottom half. Alvarez steps to the plate. Make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball Major League Baseball All-Star Ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. Alvarez 0 for 2 tonight. And Alvarez lifts this one to the warning track in right center. Catch made by Petey Halpin. Speaking of Petey, congratulations to our Petey, the great Pete Macheska, who is with us tonight, has produced a record 22 World Series for Fox. And he was in Michigan on Thursday night, was honored with the 2026 Tony Kubek Media Award at the National Polish American Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Yes, there he is with Gronk, fellow Fox broadcaster. And congratulations, Pete. Welcome to the club, buddy.
AJ inducted back in 2021.
Yes.
Rob Gronkowski, our colleague at Fox, inducted on Thursday. So congratulations to the great Pete Macheska.
And he got him back tonight for baseball. He thought he had given up baseball at the end of the Game 7 last year in the World Series. After winning every Emmy he could have possibly won. He won like 7 Emmys along with you, Kenny, with the Lifetime Achievement Award. And then he gets inducted into the Polish American Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Pete, and welcome back.
We reeled him back in.
That's right. Once you think you're out, they bring you back in.
Pete, along with the tremendous Fox director Matt Gangle, they accepted 3 Emmy Awards on behalf of Fox a couple of weeks ago in New York. Now 2 away as Walker strikes out.
This is the first fastball strikeout that Cantillo has gotten tonight. Most of them have been out breaking balls. But just a fastball up that Christian Walker cannot get. His curveball has looked really good. And that's the first one with the fastball. We mentioned his changeup was his pitch tonight. It's been a curveball and now a fastball.
Here's Paredes, who is 1 for 2, scored a run back in the 2nd. But Pete has the award with him in the truck tonight here in Houston.
He does. I saw
traveling it around the country.
Yeah, he's showing it off to everybody.
The Tony Kubek Media Award, named in honor of the terrific New York Yankee who was a tremendous broadcaster, color commentator, won the Ford C. Frick Award back in 2009 in Cooperstown.
We have to give Brian Biederman, our esteemed director, tonight. Also, he had a lot of credit with helping to get Pete that nomination and that award. He wrote his biography, which was like a 72-page novel with all of Pete's accomplishments.
Took him about 18 years to write it.
It did.
And I know you and John Smoltz were a big part of Pete's cause as well.
Yes. Congratulations, Pete.
We move to the 7th here in Houston. Kenny Albert, A.J. Pierzynski. 6'6" right-hander Nate Pearson out of the Astros pen on a relief of Spencer Arrighetti, who allowed 6 runs, 6 hits in 6 innings, struck out 7, allowed 3 home runs.
That's the big number, the 3 home runs. For a guy, again, that only gave up 3 coming into this game the whole year.
Here's the shortstop, Pena. Over to first to retire Kwan, 1 away. Sleeper picks, sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Are these surprises? The Braves, yes, playing great. The Brewers win the division, it feels like, every year in the playoffs. The Cardinals, yes, are definitely a sleeper team. But I feel like we left off a team on there, Kenny. There's a team in Chicago that we forgot about that was supposed to be terrible, lost 100 games the last 3 years, the White Sox. So the Cardinals are definitely a surprise sleeper team on that. The Braves and Brewers, I think a lot of people picked them to make the postseason coming into this year, but they are having a great year. If you haven't seen Jacob Mizorowski pitch, tune in next time he pitches.
Bailey 2 for 2 tonight. Couple of singles. Scored a run back in the 5th inning. The 1-2 from Pearson, missing away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count with 1 out, top of the 7th. Halpin on deck with the Guardians leading the Astros 6-1. .99 miles an hour from Pearson. 98 on the previous pitch.
Well, Pearson, if you remember, was a big-time prospect with the Blue Jays when he came up. Injuries kind of derailed where he was, but he's found a nice little home here with the Astros. Yes, he can throw 99. He's got a really good slider also.
Down the left field line, foul.
There's the pitch sequence. You see 98, 99, 100. And then you're able to foul off 84, 89. That's pretty good at bat that Patrick Bailey's having here.
And Bailey rips his 3rd hit of the game into left field. Well, AJ, we certainly did not forget about the Chicago White Sox.
As you shouldn't. Davis Martin, who probably should be in the All-Star game this year. And here's the list. Made playoffs after losing 100-plus games. And no team has ever finished in first. Right now, the White Sox are only half game behind these Guardians. And I'll admit it, Kenny, I'm a White Sox fan, obviously, after being there. And Stephen Vogt has done a great job with these Guardians, but at least the White Sox, you know what, are fun to watch again. They're in games. They can hit some homers. They play baseball the right way. It's been a long time on the South Side since you could say that. So at least they have, I'm not going to say we, at least they have that going for them.
And I'm sure as an alum, it was not fun to watch over the last 3 seasons.
No, especially walking around Chicago and you had to hear it all the time from the North Side fans, the Cub fans, about how good they were supposed to be and how bad the White Sox were.
Halpin shoots one into the gap in right center. Runners on the corners for the Guardians. As the number 9 hitter, Petey Halpin singles to right center. So here's Travis Bazzana. AJ, you talked about him during our opening segment. Stephen Vogt sung his praises during our meeting with the Guardians skipper prior to the game. 3 for 3, 2 home runs. He has driven in 4, make it 4 for 4, and another run batted in for Bazzana. What a night.
Well, he gets a first pitch fastball again. A little bit in. He just rolls this ball through the hole. This is good hitting. Best part of this, watch him run. If we can follow him all the way to first, he barely makes it to first. He's yelling at his own dugout before he gets to first. But 4 for 4. What is that? 5 RBIs now.
Our Good Hands play sponsored by Allstate. 2 home runs, first pitch of the game, and then a 3-run shot of the 5th. A career high in hits and runs batted in for Bazzana tonight. 4 for 4. 2 singles, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in.
That's a nice little month for some people. And Travis Bazzana did it in one night.
Manzardo with a base hit into right center. Here comes Halpin. He scores. The Guardians now lead 8-1. Manzardo with his 3rd run batted in of the game.
These top 2 are doing a lot of the damage. Another fastball. This ball's banged up the middle for a base hit. What I was trying to figure out, oh, Halpin went back. That's why. And Bazzana was going first to third. He didn't know if Odor, the third base coach, was going to send Halpin or not, and then he scores. And the thing about Bazzana, he's mad because he wanted to go first to third and keep the merry-go-round going.
Bazzana and Manzardo have combined to drive in all 8 Guardians runs tonight. They are a combined 6 for 8. 3 home runs. 8 runs batted in.
Thank you.
Pearson on in relief of Arrighetti, who allowed 6 runs. Swing and a miss by Rocchio. The count is full. Smash foul back behind first. Payoff pitch from Pearson. Line drive caught. Double play. And that ends the inning. But the Guardians add a pair. 7th inning stretch time in Houston. Well, we all have to keep entertained during the 7th inning stretch, right?
Yeah. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's a tradition here in Houston. You get to throw it to the crowd. It's pretty awesome. And that last one I threw right there, the gentleman in front of me handed it to the lady standing next to him. So that was nice of him.
You showed off your arm strength on a couple of the tosses.
There was one that bounced off someone's arm and went down over the railing down to the first deck. So I hope no one was injured.
And you astutely pointed out that one of the youngsters I threw the bag of peanuts to had some ice cream in the other hand. Altuve grounds out to Schneemann, 1 away. Well, earlier we congratulated our producer, the great Pete Macheska, and here is the award he received.
There it is. That thing is sharp, too. That would do some damage, Pete. When you get home, you can pick your teeth with it. You can maybe...
He made it through security.
Yeah, cut some fruit with that thing, Pete, but just be nice and make sure it's clean. This is a centerpiece for Pete's house.
The 2026 Tony Kubek Media Award.
More World Series than anybody, if I believe. If I read Brett Biederman's biography
or
correctly.
Brian.
Who's Brian?
Pete at the helm for 22 World Series. The last 22 see you here on Fox. Cantillo sailing along with an 8-1 lead. The 1-2 to Diaz, who came up with the Cleveland organization. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eight-1 lead for the Guardians. Top 2 in the Cleveland order. Bazzana and Manzardo have driven in all 8 Cleveland runs. Called strike 3. Now 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th in Houston. Well, this July on Fox, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game takes over Philadelphia. July 4th, the All-Star Selection Show live from Independence Hall. Catch baseball's biggest stars in the Midsummer Classic, July 14th, right here on Fox.
Cantillo has done a really good job tonight, and we talked about it, pitching backwards. A lot of off-speed, a lot of curveballs, a lot of changeups, and mixing in some fastballs here and there. This is a masterful pitching performance.
By the way, not only has Pete Macheska produced 22 World Series on Fox, but 22 All-Star games as well.
Well, one thing good about Pete, he's still here.
With us tonight.
He's still here. Pete doesn't know how to use an iPhone, but he can produce All-Star games and World Series.
The greatest story about a cell phone and Pete Macheska, about 20 years ago, we were in a football production meeting. Pete was the producer, and at the time you paid 10 cents per text even if you were receiving text. It cost you 10 cents. So everybody fired off about 20 texts to Pete that night. He was not a happy man. Joey Cantillo is retired. Last 11 batters he has faced. 1 run on 4 hits in 7 innings.
7 punch-outs, 6 on the curveball, 1 on a fastball. He's had a really nice night. Just mixed up the speeds constantly and kept the Astros off balance.
A.J. Bluebob out of the Astros pen. 30th appearance, facing Rhys Hopkins, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Hoskins leading off for the Guardians. Here in the top of the 8th, they have an 8-1 lead. (3-1) from Bluebob, in for a called strike, full count.
A little bit, maybe a tad.
Hoskins strikes out for the 3rd consecutive at bat. 1 away. So here's Schneemann. He's 0 for 3. Top 2 in the Cleveland order have done all the damage, combining to drive in all 8 runs for the Guardians tonight. Lozano and Manzardo. To Schneemann. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Guardians took a 1-0 lead on the game's first pitch. Schneemann caught looking, now 2 away. They combined 6 for 8, 8 runs batted in, 3 home runs. Bazzana and Manzardo responsible for all 8 runs scored by the Guardians tonight.
Well, that's a way to get the party started. Top 2 in the lineup, 6 for 8, all 8 RBIs. Just a great night for the young Bazzana and Kyle Manzardo also. And one really good mustache in that picture and one that's coming in, Kenny.
Well, the kids have come to play for the Guardians tonight here in Houston. 23-year-old Bazzana, 25-year-old Manzardo, and the 26-year-old Joey Cantillo.
We're going to see Cantillo, I believe, back out for the 8th. I think he's got 84 pitches. You know what's interesting? He's only thrown 16 fastballs in this game, I believe. Sorry, Cantillo has 86 pitches, and nobody's up in the bullpen. And like I said, I think he's thrown 16 fastballs, something like that. It's a very low number, but he has just been really tough on these Astros. A lot of curveballs, cutters, and changeups.
His season high is 98 pitches. 86 tonight for Cantillo. Woo! 96-mile-per-hour fastball in for a called strike, full count. Watson 0 for 3 tonight. And he is called out on strikes. Lubov strikes out the side in the 8th. Oh, it feels good to Geico. Well, Joey Cantillo, he mentioned 86 pitches over the first 7 innings. Facing Jake Myers, who takes a called strike. Cantillo has retired 11 straight, has allowed only 1 base hit since the 2nd inning.
I think one good way to look at it is first time through, the Astros went 3 for 9. Since then, they're 1 for 15. And really, it was the 2nd inning where they had 3 singles in the run. Other than that, Cantillo has been in command.
Cantillo grew up in Hawaii, drafted by the Padres back in 2017, and he was named after his dad's favorite player, Joe DiMaggio. Swing and a miss. Myers down on strikes. That's 12 straight retired by Cantillo.
What a great day. Watch all the curveball strikeouts. That's 1, that's 2, 3 down below the zone. Another one right down the middle looking. That's 4. Then Pena swinging on 5. Here's the 1 fastball. Christian Walker high. Another curveball. And then this last one was a great changeup to Jake Myers. A lot of curveball strikeouts. We came into this game again saying changeup was his pitch. He's been able to locate the curveball. He's been able to locate the changeup. And when he's needed it, he's thrown just enough fastballs to keep the Astros honest. Really nice pitching performance.
8 strikeouts. That's 1 shy of his season high.
Thank you. No, you're good.
2 shy of his career high. Cantillo, the American League Rookie of the Month last September. 5-3 record in 15 starts this season.
That pitch right there shows you how much confidence he has. 2-0, up 8-1, 2-0 cutter. And that's also on Patrick Bailey, the catcher. Knowing what his pitcher has, using it to its fullest capabilities, not just giving in to a 2-0 heater.
Now 3-1 on Matthews. Matthews 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for his last 11. Halpin makes the play in center. Cantillo has now retired 13 straight.
And he has been in cruise control. Ever since they gave him that lead, he has just cruised through this team.
And now a pinch hitter, Ray Delgado, will bat for Jeremy Pena.
Opportunity for Joe Espada to get Jeremy Pena off his feet here for an inning or two. Give Ray Delgado an at bat. Give your veteran guy a little bit of break, especially a guy that's been banged up this year.
Delgado 3 hits in 7 at-bats for the Astros this season. He strikes out to end the 8th. Cantillo has retired 14 straight. Top of the 9th in Houston with the Guardians leading the Astros 8-1. Brian Abreu, the 4th pitcher of the night for Houston. Several changes defensively for the Astros. Paredes moves to first. Delgado remains in the game at shortstop. Matthews to third base. And Joey Loperfido in the game in left field. Kwan flies out to Myers in center for out number 1. Patrick Bailey 3 for 3 tonight, 3 singles. I saw Matt Festa up in the Cleveland pen.
Wow. 2-0.
Brian Abreu in the game for the Astros, he's important. They need to get him figured out. They need to get him back to the weapon he was. Now that Josh Hader's back, Kenny, as the closer, they can slot him into that 8th inning role, get him back to being the dominant guy that he was for so long the last few years for him.
Hader missed the first 2 months of this season.
Yep, got him. I got him.
Two to Bailey. Myers under it. And Bailey, who had been 3 for 3, is retired for the first time tonight. Coming off a big win over Australia yesterday, the United States has clinched first place in their group and secured their place in the knockout round. But first, they'll try to go 3-0. Back-to-back World Cup wins, AJ, for the United States. First time since 1930.
They look good, Kenny. I'm not going to lie. They look good. They look like a team that could make a deep run in the World Cup. My question is, when did Turkey change its name to Turkey?
Turkey.
Turkey?
Yeah. That will be the next opponent for the United States on Thursday. We head to the bottom of the 9th here in Houston. Matt Festa out of the Guardians' pen after the starter Joey Cantillo was brilliant over 8 innings, retiring the last 14 Astros he faced.
Cantillo was great. Festa in this game. A lot of sweepers, fastball sweeper mainly. His job is to get 3 outs and reward Cantillo with a victory.
Pinch hitter for the Astros, Taylor Trammell, batting for Alvarez.
Kind of surprised by this pinch hit here. Alvarez had a long on-base streak on the line, and they bring in a righty. Way to get Trammell in at bat, but also a way to get Alvarez in a bat off a righty.
Right, Alvarez 0 for 3 tonight. So that 25-game streak comes to an end. Also had a hit in 9 consecutive games for manager Joe Espada. The 2-2 to Trammell is a called strike 3.
We've kind of seen this all night against these Astros hitters breaking balls. They've really struggled hitting breaking balls. And Festa follows the script that Cantillo did all night. And Patrick Bailey behind the plate. Little backdoor breaking ball for strike 3.
Joey Loperfido with a base hit into center field. First hit for the Astros since the 4th inning.
Little breaking ball again. Loperfido off the bench. Muscles this ball into center field. Didn't hit it great. When you're a bench player, you'll take any hit you can get.
Paredes steps in with 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning in Houston. Great job by our entire crew tonight, led by producer Pete Macheska,
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer, our director Brian Biederman, associate director Chirag Devaskar, broadcast associate Charlie Taft, Ben Bowman crunching the numbers along with Mark Seguro. Towering pop-up off the bat of Paredes. Now 2 away. Got a look at Pizzana, who made the play. A career night for him.
Absolutely. 4 hits. First career multi-home run game. 5 RBIs.
We know who he was rooting for in the World Cup match yesterday.
Yes, he's from Australia. He was not happy. Should we bring that up if we get to talk to him after the game?
Loperfido takes second. Astros down to their final out. Astros had won 3 consecutive games. Guardians had dropped 3 of their last 4. Altuve fouls it back. Now 1-2.
If you're a Guardians fan, this is a nice night. We talked about how all the players they lost a week ago, but here's a nice bounce back. Mentioned 1-3 since those guys went down, but it's a nice way to bounce back and get a little pep in your step and get a little offense back.
1-2 to Altuve, fouls it back this way.
Especially Kenny against a guy like Eric Getty, who'd been so good the whole year for the Astros. To go out and put an 8 spot on him is a nice feeling.
You mentioned early on he had allowed only 3 home runs all season coming into this game. Guardians tagged them for 3 over the first 5 innings. The 1-2 from Festa. Call strike 3. That will do it.
Houston is challenging the strike call.
However,
Probably off.
maybe not.
It's off. It's going to be off. Oh, that was ours.
Well, it is not over yet. Automated balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile's network. Now the 2-2, and no question about that one. Guardians win it 8-1. Even the series one game apiece. Pizzana, 4 hits, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in, and there's Manzardo, who drove in the other 3. Cantillo, brilliant. He goes to 6-3 on the season. Much more to come from Houston. Back in a moment. In America on Fox, the Cleveland Guardians victorious 8-1 over the Houston Astros, evening this weekend series at 1 game apiece. The Guardians celebrate. And we are joined by one of the heroes tonight for Cleveland, Travis Pizzana. Travis, thanks for taking a couple of minutes. Career game for you, 2 home runs, 4 hits, 5 runs batted in. What was going through your mind on that first pitch of the game?
Yeah, I was just selling out to a heater over the hot, trying to see it up, and I'm feeling really confident tracking it, be on time at the moment. So yeah, I was just looking for a good pitch to hit, and I was ready to go.
We asked before the game, Stephen Vogt, your manager, who's the one guy we should circle and focus on, and he brought up your name right away. Talk about the second home run that you got off Arrighetti.
Yeah, after getting the fastball in the first 2 at-bats, I was kind of bringing my timing back a little bit for something soft, but still, like, it's hard to get off the fastball. And then, yeah, that one just stayed over the middle in that count, and it was a good one to go on.
It was a nice night for you. Now, you have a nice Aussie accent. Is it true this was your revenge game for the USA soccer game yesterday?
Yeah, it must have been. So we got to get out of the group stage now and hopefully finish strong on in this World Cup.
Did you watch the game with your teammates?
I did. I was watching in the clubhouse. I was supposed to be, getting in the training room or doing other stuff. I couldn't get my eyes off the TV, and then once it went to 2-0, I started to get ready for the game.
All right, Travis, well, congratulations on a terrific night tonight here in Houston, and thanks for taking a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
Travis Pizzana of the Guardians drove in 5, couple of home runs, first career multi-home run game for Pizzana, and then Manzardo hitting right behind him in the lineup drove in the other 3.
And yes, and let's not forget Joey Cantillo with what he did, 8 innings. In all the strikeouts he had, he was in complete command of this Astros lineup, using his curveball, using his changeup, using his cutter. Pizzana with the 2 home runs. Manzardo with the other one, 8 RBIs between those two, and just a nice win for the Cleveland Guardians.
Despite missing 3 key players, they had dropped 3 of their last 4. They win it tonight here in Houston by the score of 8-1. Tomorrow on Fox, the World Cup continues. Spain takes on Saudi Arabia. Coverage begins at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then at 2 p.m., the IndyCar Series goes to Road America in Wisconsin here on Fox. For A.J. Pierzynski and our entire crew, I'm Kenny Albert, wishing you a good night from Houston. Guardians over the Astros 8-1. You are watching Fox, the exclusive home of the 2026 Major League Baseball All-Star Game and World Series. After the break, we'll send it to Kevin Burkhardt in Los Angeles.